Today I'm going to talk about the Chinese legal system. When we look at China legal system, what we see is not a set of rules or government regulations, but a structure shaped by thousands of years of political thinking, philosophy, and historical change. It is a system that evolved through ancient dynasties, survived dramatic political shifts in the modern era, and now plays a major role in how China interacts with the world. And because China is one of Vietnam's largest neighbors and trading partners, understanding how this legal system works is not only interesting, it is practical and important for businesses, policymakers, and anyone who wants to work effectively with the Chinese market. And to understand the modern China legal system, we first need to travel back in time. More than 2,000 years ago, during the Qing and Han dynasty, China developed one of the earliest and most sophisticated philosophies in the world. It was a mixture of legalism, which emphasized strict rules and harsh punishments to maintain order, and Confucianism, which emphasized morality, hierarchy, and harmony. These two ideas formed the backbone of Chinese governance for centuries. The legalism provided the structure, clear rules, written codes, and centralized authority. Meanwhile, the Confucianism provided the spirit, respect for elders, loyalty, social harmony, and ethical behavior. Throughout dynasties like the Tang and Song, China refined its legal code. The Tang Code, created in the 7th century, became one of the most advanced legal documents in ancient history. It was so sophisticated that it influenced Japan, Korea, and other neighboring kingdoms. Scholars even argue that the Tang Code shaped the very idea of a bureaucratic state in East Asia. The Tang Code of the Tang Dynasty was one of the most advanced legal codes in ancient history. It shaped not only China, but all of East Asia, including Vietnam. What made it so remarkable was how it combined strict legalist structure and Confucian moral values. It didn't just list crimes, it just actions based on relationships and social hierarchy. For example, when stealing from a stranger carried one punishment, but stealing from your parents was treated much more seriously, because the Confucianism teaches that damaging family harmony is a deeper moral wrongdoing. The Tang Code also introduced carefully weighed punishments, ranging from life beating, heavy beating, penal servitude, exile, and finally death. And this system allowed officials some flexibility, but kept them within clear boundaries so justice stayed fair and consistent across the empires, and became deeper moral wrongdoing. The Tang Code also introduced carefully weighed punishments, ranging from life beating, heavy beating, penal servitude, exile, and finally death. And this system allowed officials some flexibility, but kept them within clear boundaries so justice stayed fair and consistent across the empires. And because of its clarity, morality, and balance, the Tang Code became the model for many Asian countries. It influenced and still be traced in Vietnam's own historical legal codes, such as the Ho Ly Code. And just for your information, there are two main types of legal systems in the world: the civil law and the common law. The civil law, like the system in China and Vietnam, based on the written rule books that judges follow, and the common law relies more on past court decisions, so judges look at old cases and decide new ones. The civil law focuses on clear written rules, while the common law is more flexible and grows through real court cases. Fast forward to the 19th and early 20th centuries, China entered a period of modernization and interacted more deeply with Western powers. During the late Qing Dynasty and the Republican era, China studied German and Japanese legal systems, which were based on civil law, structured, codified, and systematic. Modern China law, especially civil law, company law, and administrative law, resembles the German-Japanese model more than anything else. Before China adopted modern civil law ideas from Germany and Japan, its traditional legal system was mainly a mix of legalism and officialism. This meant society was governed through strict rules, harsh punishments, and moral expectations, much like a strict father who keeps the house in order through discipline rather than formal rules. Law was used to maintain control and social harmony, not to protect the individual rights. And when China later studied the German and Japanese civil law model, it gained a completely different way of thinking, a systematic, codified structure where laws are organized into clear categories and judges rely on written codes. Much like a rule book, thus explains everyone's rights and responsibilities fairly and logically. This shift transformed China from a punishment-focused, empire-centered legal culture into a more modern rights-aware legal system. After 1949, when the People's Republic of China was established, the country's formal legal system largely paused and was reshaped under socialist ideology. During the Mao Zedong early leadership, people trusted him deeply because he unified China and brought stability after decades of war and disruption. This trust gave his ideology enormous influence, and in a highly centralized political structure with no independent courts or legal checks, his ideas were often treated as the highest authority. Nationwide propaganda and social pressure reinforces some ideology function almost like law, effectively replacing formal legal procedures. It wasn't until 1980s and 1990s, especially after Deng Xiaoping launched major economic reforms, that China rebuilt a modern legal framework. Under Deng's leadership, the country revoked most of its laws to support market development, foreign investment, and international trade. This huge transformation turned China into one of the world's most legally active countries, creating and updating laws every year to match rapid modernization.